Hi, my name is Soren Stearns, and welcome back to another film vlog. Today we will be talking about The Uninvited. This was filmed in 1944. This follows a brother and sister, Rick and Pamela, moving away from their life in London to live in the country. Um, they soon discover that this house is haunted. They feel cold spots, they hear voices, um, and they begin investigating. At first, they think this might be the mother of the former owner's daughter, the daughter being Stella, the mother being Mary. Um, but as the film goes on, we discover that her real mother isn't Mary and is actually another woman named Carmel. That her father had an affair. And Stella is sort of drawn to this cliff. We don't really know why at first, but as the movie goes on, we discover that Mary is responsible for that. She is jealous that Carmel is her real mother, and wants to kill her. We see this sort of climax at the end where she's going towards the cliff, and Rick comes in and saves her, stops her. At the same time, Carmel's ghost reveals a page in a book in the room where they essentially feel the cold spots, and the knowledge is made aware to them that Carmel is her real mother. With this knowledge, Carmel's spirit is freed. However, Mary's still remains, still wanting revenge. Rick is able to banish her, and everything is happy again. Several topics are brought up in this film that I find really interesting, and one of those is the introduction of the haunted house to our class. This movie is often looked at as sort of a softer ghost story. It's not very scary. There are some dark topics, but for the most part, it's pretty lighthearted and pretty tame. However, it contains a lot of these central concepts that were and built are still a part of the haunted house movie. Some of these include cold spots, possession, animals being aware of a spirit's presence, spirits being attached to a certain location, and the concept of unfinished business. Um, I really like this haunted house movie. I think that despite its sort of more tame nature, it's really enjoyable. The characters are interesting. I think the story is easy to follow, but also is dramatic and fun. Um, Another thing I find really interesting about this film, it has some really overt queer theming. One of these examples is Stella's stay at the sanatorium. The headmistress of the sanatorium, Miss Holloway, implies a lesbian relationship between Mary and herself. Miss Holloway has this sort of giant painting of Mary in her office. She says she's the finest woman she ever knew. And it's just this sort of interpersonal relationship that's heavily hinted at. I think the presence of this massive painting is really, you wouldn't have that of a friend, right? I think it's a pretty clear theming. Even Miss Holloway's character, we can queer. She is sort of this opposite of what femininity was at the time. She's a little more cold. She's a little bit tougher. She's the head of this organization, and we can see that as sort of a outsideness, sort of a more queer expression of her femininity. On top of that, we have this sort of push and pull of two significant female characters in the form of the ghosts. With Mary, we have this sort of feeling of dread and fear, and with Carmel, we have this sort of feeling of loving and comfort. And they're sort of pulling at this woman. They're trying to sway her to one side, trying to reveal the truth of this reality. And I think we can definitely queer that concept. This is one of my favorite films we've watched so far, especially after being able to explore it in Dr. Prendergast's class last year. I had a really good time with it then, and was really fun to re-explore it now, especially with what we've been reading. I think that it is a unique haunted house movie in its friendly atmosphere. I think that's part of what stands out to me. I enjoy scary, dark movies, but this is different while still maintaining an interesting and fun story. On top of that, it's really interesting to see this kind of really overt queer theming. I think that it still does comply with the Hays Code, but it really is, I think, pushing it to a certain extent. All in all, 1944's The Uninvited is a horror classic for a reason. I don't have to say again how much I enjoy this film. You guys know already. So Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next vlog.